UFC 323 Dvalishvili vs. Jon 2 took place on December 6th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The event brought in $10.1 million at the gate, as well as sponsorships, merchandise sales, and potential site fees that can range from the millions to tens of millions. Not to mention the UFC's broadcasting deal with ESPN, which pulls north of $500 million a year. But how big of a slice did the fighters actually take home? The Nevada State Athletic Commission does not disclose fighter pay information, so while Venom sponsorship and fight bonuses are released, the purses are based on disclosed earnings from past events. And if you stick around until the end, I'll reveal how much the channel made from the last video. With that said, let's jump into the first fight.
Every fighter that's under contract, if you want to tell the media what you're paid, that's up to you.
Starting with the feature prelim, lightweight Grant Dawson failed to take down his opponent Manuel Torres, but even so, the grappler held his own on the feet, landing kicks to the head and body. All the while, Torres patiently waited for the right opportunity, which he found midway through the first round, when he connected with a left hook that dropped Dawson like a sack of potatoes. He delivered a few more shots on the ground to finish him off, and walked away with a knockout victory. Dawson earned a disclosed $106,000 in his last outing, meaning he took home around $111,000 to show and $11,000 in sponsorship pay, also known as fight week incentive, putting him at $122,000 on the night. While Torres, likely on his second or third contract with the promotion, earned around $40,000 to show and $40,000 for the win, along with $6,000 in Venom sponsorship, as well as a $50,000 performance of the night bonus, bringing his total to $136,000. In the main card opener, Jan Błachowicz fired off several low kicks against fellow light heavyweight Bogdan Guskov before pinging him with a couple heavy jabs midway through the opening round. The pace picked up in the second as Guskov scored a knockdown off a sharp right hand, putting him in a dominant position on the ground. He landed several nasty elbows, splitting Błachowicz's face open. Back on the feet to start the third, Błachowicz continued to march forward and dropped Guskov with a right of his own in the waning seconds. It wasn't enough to sway the judges, however, as Guskov's 10-8 second round led to a majority draw. Just 2 fights ago, Guskov pulled a disclosed $43,000 purse for his win at UFC 311, so a standard increase in pay puts him at $49,000 for this outing, along with $6,000 in sponsorship, for a total of $55,000. While Błachowicz, as a former champion of the division, in my opinion sits on the cusp of championship pay, making around $300,000 to show, along with the maximum non-championship $21,000 in sponsorship, taking home $321,000. In the second fight of the main card, Payton Talbott laid a vicious 1-2 on the former champion Henry Cejudo about 10 seconds into the fight and looked good throughout the first round. He landed the harder shots and even out-wrestled the Olympic gold medalist. In the second, a right hand by Talbott saw Cejudo hit the canvas, but after a scramble, he ended up on top position. Back on his feet, Payton unloaded heavy shots, leaving Cejudo's eye bruised and bloodied, but Triple C never backed down, landing solid strikes of his own. In the final round, Talbott's accuracy and power were too much for his opponent, and the judges would award him a unanimous decision victory. Cejudo revealed on his YouTube channel that in his last fight at UFC Seattle, he earned $350,000 and would have pulled an additional $150,000 with a win. I assume nothing in his contract changed since that night, meaning he would have earned $350,000 for this outing, along with $16,000 in sponsorship pay. And after the fight, the broadcast caught part of Cejudo's cage-side conversation with Dana White, where White said he'd be getting a $50,000 bonus regardless of fight of the night. That brings his total to $416,000. While Talbott made a disclosed $43,000 at UFC 311, and now 1-1 since that night, he'd have pulled $46,000 to show and another $46,000 for the win, $6,000 in Venom sponsorship, and I can't imagine Dana would leave Talbott hanging after shelling out $50,000 to his opponent, so I suspect he received a locker room bonus as well. These bonuses are usually in the range of $4,000 to $25,000, so I'll tack on another $15,000. It all adds up to a $113,000 paycheck. In the third fight, Brandon Moreno came dangerously close on a triangle attempt against fellow flyweight Tatsuro Taira and held the position for about half the round, even after it became clear that it wasn't tight enough for the submission. In the second, Taira scored a takedown off a trip, maneuvering to a body lock, where he started raining down blows on Moreno. Struggling to escape the lock, Moreno absorbed punch after punch until the referee had seen enough. The fight was called, and Tatsuro Taira would claim the TKO victory. Moreno doesn't have any disclosed purses in non-title fights, so it's a bit difficult to estimate his purse. But in his 20th fight with the promotion, my best guess is around $165,000 to show. He'd also take in $16,000 in sponsorship pay, for a total of $181,000 on the night. While we also don't have any disclosed purses for Taira across his 9 UFC fights, we can get a rough idea by looking at what similar fighters were earning at the same point in their careers. For example, fellow flyweight Kai Kara-France made a disclosed $51,000 in his 9th UFC bout. There's no guarantee their contracts line up exactly, but it's a pretty realistic comparison. That means another $51,000 for the win. He'd also earned $6,000 in Venom sponsorship, and I suspect a locker room bonus as well, considering Dana revealed with the post-fight presser that the UFC would be, quote, throwing a lot more money around tonight. That comes out to an estimated $123,000 paycheck. The co-main event was as unexpected as it was tragic, as the defending flyweight champion Alexandre Pantoja suffered some sort of dislocated or broken arm just 26 seconds into the fight. There isn't much to analyze, but both fighters came out extremely aggressive. Pantoja threw a head kick that was caught by Van, and on the way down, he attempted to brace himself with his left arm. It was a gruesome injury that halted the fight immediately, and by default, Joshua Van became the undisputed flyweight champion. As for the now former champion Alexandre Pantoja, he pulled an estimated $500,000 to $1 million purse, along with the champion's $42,000 in sponsorship. And while flyweights have historically missed out on pay-per-view points, in recent years some champions have been able to negotiate a share. I'll give Pantoja the benefit of the doubt that as a long-tenured champion, he does receive them at the standard rate, which is outlined in 2022 agency documents prepared for Francis Ngannou, meaning that at an estimated 350,000 buys, he'd earn $150,000. That takes his total to $942,000. And for the new flyweight champion Joshua Van, disclosed title challenger purses typically land in the $350,000 to $500,000 range. He'd also earn the challenger's $32,000 in sponsorship, coming out to an estimated $457,000. Before we get into the main event, I want to take a moment to reintroduce the newly created membership program. If you enjoy the content, it's mainly a way to support the channel and keep these videos coming. You guys know that sometimes I'm not able to make a video for every event, so for less than $2 a month, members get access to fighter payout reports for every non-Apex UFC event posted the very next day, as well as early access to videos, priority replies to comments, and more. Click the join button below the video or the link in the description to learn more. And in the main event of the evening, Petr Yan immediately put the champion Merab Dvalishvili on his back foot as the two exchanged blows. Yan showed incredible takedown defense throughout the fight, and he punished Merab with his strikes to the body. By the third, Merab's face was busted up as Yan rendered the champion's takedown attempts ineffective and repeatedly found openings to land thudding punches and kicks. After 25 brutal minutes, it was a clear and unanimous decision win for Petr Yan. Dvalishvili was listed at a flat $500,000 for his title defense at UFC 311. However, for champions and elite level fighters, disclosed purses are always drastically less than they actually take home. As a tenured champion, I put his purse in the $1 to $2 million range. Along with the champion's $42,000 in sponsorship, and under the pay-per-view model, he receives a guaranteed percentage of the revenue. I assume that'll be phased out of new contracts under the Paramount deal, but I'm still including it here, with this event being the last with ESPN. That gives Merab an additional $150,000, along with a $50,000 fight of the night bonus, coming out to a grand total of $1,742,000. And as a former champion of the division, Yan's guaranteed purse would likely be in the $500,000 to $1 million range. He'd also earn the challenger's $32,000 in sponsorship pay, and a well-deserved $50,000 fight of the night bonus, giving him an estimated $832,000 on the night. And last but not least, my video on UFC Qatar got around 6,000 views as of this recording for $27.52. Corrections to the numbers I've shown will be listed in a pinned comment below. As always, thanks for watching. In all likelihood, I will not be making a video for next week's fight night, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I'll see you all in 2026.